Hey guys, what's up? So it is time for macro information part 2. And before I move on to the next part, I wanted to briefly go over a small mistake I made on the last video. One person very kindly pointed it out, and I'm glad that someone caught it. It makes me know that someone's paying attention. Here's from last video, and my maintenance calories were 225, and in the part that I was calculating fat to carb, I did 2295 minus 953, and I skipped a step and I put that it was 355. So 2295 minus 953 is definitely 1342. So we're gonna erase this right here. So this is 1342. And then you take 1342, and you divide by 4, because carbs have 4 calories per gram. And then you get 335. So that is where I got this number. If you get lost in this section, it's because I skipped a step and I didn't notice because I suck at math. And I'll be honest, I get nervous. I get nervous on camera, especially doing math on camera. So that's what happened. And thank you for pointing that out. I very much so appreciate it. Moving on to macros for cutting and bulking. Alright, so if you might have seen from my last video, my maintenance calories were 2,295. And if you want to know how I got that answer, make sure to watch the last video so you can make sure to calculate your maintenance calories first before you figure out your cutting calories. So 2295, 1 pound of body fat, equals roughly 3,500 calories. So let's say you want to lose 1 pound of body weight per week. Then you have to be in a 500 calorie deficit every day, so per day. Excuse my weird setup. This is really awkward holding it up. What we do is 2295 minus 500, and that is 1795. So now these are my new calories that I'm working off. So now to find the macros for these. Alright, so now that I've got my cutting calories, I want to figure out my protein, fat, and carb breakdown. So for protein on a cut, I like to bring it up a bit and keep between 1.1 to 1.3 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So I'm going to go with 1.2. And we bring it up a little bit when you're cutting because you want to maintain as much lean muscle mass as possible. And since you're in a deficit, you don't want your body pulling from muscle to get its energy. So I like to up that a little bit. And let's say I weigh 135. So times 1.2, that equals 162, which also equals 648 calories. So we're gonna keep that for later. But this is 162 grams of protein for now. And so for fat, we want to keep this in between 15 and 25% still. And just for, cutting's sake, let's say we go down to 15%. So we'll do 1795 times 0.15 is 269, and then we want to divide that by 9, and that equals 29 grams. So we got 29 grams. I'm having a hard time holding up this board while I continue, so I'm sorry if I'm like breathing hard. Alright, so far 162 grams of protein, 29 grams of fat. And now to figure out the carbs, it's just whatever is left over in your calories. So we're gonna start by adding up 648 and 269. So 648 plus 269 917. So then we're gonna take 1795, subtract 917, and that equals 878 calories. So then we're gonna divide that by 4, and that equals 219. So we got 219 grams of carbohydrate. So there it is. 219, 29, 162. Yeah, hopefully that wasn't too confusing for you. Hopefully I didn't skip any steps this time. If I did, make sure to point it out to me. Make sure you guys are paying attention and all. Alright, so let's move on to bulking. Alright, so I'm going back to my maintenance calories. And bulking is pretty simple. It's almost the same as finding your maintenance calories, but you're upping it by like 200 calories. So to bulk, it's just 2295. And I'm gonna add 200 calories onto this. So that's 2495. And I'm not gonna go through all the math of this because my brain hurts, but I'm gonna keep the protein to 1 gram per pound of body weight. And then it's the same for the fat, 15 to 25%. And then carbs is just whatever is left over. So it's the same concept as figuring out your maintenance calories. You can take your protein down a little bit when you're bulking because you're not in a deficit anymore, so it's not like your body's going to be pulling from protein as an energy source. Carbs are super duper important when it comes to bulking. When it comes to fat, it's kind of like you got to figure out which range is best for you. If you enjoy fat more, you can keep these on the higher end. And if you enjoy carbs more, then you can take this down a little bit, and then that allows you to eat more carbs. So it's really kind of a preference, figuring out what works for you. And then since you are bringing your calories up by 200, I would say bring it up 200 and monitor your weight for like 2 weeks, and then see if you've gone up or down. Maybe you need to bring it up more. If you're still gaining, keep it at the 200. If you hit a plateau, then raise up your calories. And yeah, that's it, guys. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down below. I hope this was helpful for you guys, and I will see you next time. Peace out.